There you are. So your question is, would you start crafting Guardians of the Galaxy if you're in my place? Have a look at my cards. Alright, let me see what all your effects are first. Nice. All attack, physical, energy, ignore defense. Nice. Cooldown 36. So you have your ignore defense, cooldown, and all attack above the 30% threshold that I've always recommended. Guy once pointed that out. You also have that 50% activation rate there as well. But you have a 4% here. Max hit points, all attack, attack speed, fire resist, energy attack, and physical attack. And you've got Loki 2, Black Panther. So my biggest problem here is I hate the quality. I'm also... Are you a big PvP person now, Titanium? Because if you're not, we are Alliance mates, man. Oh yeah, but you're also on my friends list. Sometimes I just like looking it up by name. I'm sorry. And I remember it used to be the same. I just wasn't sure. So apparently it is the same, just without the underscore. Yeah. If you're gonna do PvP, probably. I would still probably re-roll it for a quality 6 or 7, but that's a lot of cards. And do you really want to burn cards when you can be getting star quality? Yeah, this card is mostly for PvP. I mean, look. So on this card, the reason you usually equip cards are the top 2 lock stats, even if it's a premium card. So the top 2 lock stats on this card are max hit points and all attack. If you get your quality up, those are the only 2 that change. If you're going to start crafting cards, that quality affects those. So having a 4 and crafting that, to me, hurts to see. Like this, 6, right? So 10%. Look at all the top stuff. It's all 10%. This Guardians of the Galaxy card is going to be like Cable, though, with the quality of 4, so they're all 9. Granted, we're talking about 1% difference, so is that going to make or break your account? No, not necessarily. But Guardians of the Galaxy is hit points and all attack. This one here is all attack and ignore defense. All attack and cooldown. All attack and cooldown. Energy attack and ignore defense. So it just comes down to what your preference is. If you like this card enough to keep it equipped, like obviously there would be other cards to equip in its spot. My personal preference being the Spidey card for 1. So if you ever got the Spidey card, all attack and ignore defense, right? But honestly, with the new stats up here, if you can roll decent things, because you never know what you're going to get. So you could get absolute junk up here. But if you can roll decent things, it doesn't really matter anymore too much what these are, to a degree. At a certain point, you're going to get all this stuff rolled. You're going to get it rolled right. You might even re-roll it to get the right stats and get it at the right number. But down here, you're talking about, you know, a handful of stats. It's just one of yours is hit points versus an all attack. All attack. All attack. All attack. All attack. No, I'm sorry, physical. Physical on this one. Hee hee. The reason I'm bringing this up is because your all attack does not cap. So you're going to get to a certain point where your cards, you're going to potentially want more than what you're at. And the 2 that you have, well, no, you do have all attack as a second, so that's still an all attack there, isn't it? So it's just hit points instead of something else, which is not necessarily the worst thing in the world to have. Yeah, I'd probably start crafting it. I probably would. You'll replace the Loki with Spidey. So you're going to get rid of energy and ignore defense that has cooldown locked in. And you're going to replace that with the Spidey card that's going to give you speed. You could do that. I had this card equipped and I unequipped it because I just didn't like it. But that's my personal preference because I don't do PvP. And I feel like this is more a PvP card. I mean, you do have attack speed and all attack locked in there, like I said. So it's not the end of the world to keep this card. It just comes down to whether or not you see this in your long-term build or not. You already have 3 of your cards built, so you probably don't ever want to replace these 3. So I would start thinking about, where do you see these last 2 slots ending up? Do you see this card staying in your final build? If you do, go ahead and start crafting it. If not, start figuring out a way to get the card you want to replace it with. That would be my advice. For me right now, I got to get rid of this Loki card at some point. This Avengers card, I need to reroll. But I'm going to lose attack speed, max hit points, and ignore defense when I do that. So I've got to be real careful. If this was a higher quality, I would love this card and I would be building it right now. The fact that it's not and I'm only getting 8.5% is driving me nuts. This one, right? Good secondary stats. This ignore defense and energy attack. But it's mostly the all attack and cooldown that I don't want to lose. So I'm going to swap that out with this card. But my caveat to swap it out with this card is I have to have that activation rate there, and I have to have at least a 5. Damn, I'm coughing a lot today. I'm dying nice and slow. Let me get my energy here from challenges. Hopefully that helps.